Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Okay, so today we will be flying back to Hong Kong. We will be basically continuing from where we left off last time. We are here in Shanghai, Shanghai Pudong, I believe. So we will be doing the return flight. The return flight is calculated at around 2 hours and 11 minutes according to any builds. Hopefully we don't spend another 45 minutes or something like in a hold like we did here. Honestly, that was very messy. I'm not sure if I was blamed for that, but I did. If you guys noticed, I'm actually going to like put that. I'm sure I would have put that in the previous video, because you know guys, I don't edit these videos until like I'm done with a bunch of them, so like what I'm going to be doing in each video hasn't really occurred to me, but I do believe I'm going to keep that because the controller was very stressed out last time. It was because of me and another guy, so both of us, I believe, like I'm not sure if he was behind me or was he ahead of me. I think he was behind me, and I think he was the guy that went direct instead of taking an actual SID like I was doing. I think he just cut all of that and he went direct to the last point. That's what made our separations almost non-existent. And instead of him slowing down, he did nothing. He just kept going. I'm not sure whether he was able to see me or not. If he had the 80 builds A350, you should be able to see me. But also, at the same time, there was nobody ahead of me. Like I was watching my TCAS, there was no one ahead of me. There was a guy ahead of me, but then he disappeared. He was like quite ahead of me, like I think like 20 miles or something ahead of me. So it wasn't an issue. And that guy that was behind me, he never spoke. He never said what he was doing. He never did the descent stuff, nothing. And before that also, we had connected to center, but for some weird reason, center just went offline. He was like, I think he's just closing, and then he's like, okay, I'm going offline. So I'm not sure what the guy behind me did, because that time he like center did not say anything to him about separation, right? Not that I heard of, you know. I went and I did some stuff while this one, because I knew that center was not going to give me any instructions, because like I was sitting there for about 45 minutes to an hour with center, and maybe a little bit more or maybe less, I'm not sure, but I was with center for quite a while. And if he would have like said something about separation, I would have followed it. But that guy, this Cathay 360, I don't even know where he came up from. Where was he the entire time? Did he disconnect and then reconnect all of a sudden? I'm not sure, honestly, but I knew that I did not use any time acceleration. I followed the entire route exactly how it was. So I'm sure he did something that made our separation non-existent. And of course, like when we went into the remaining traffic, I think that he had a lot of the controller had a lot of traffic that he had sequenced in, and just us, we were causing an issue. But what annoyed me is that he told him to be able to take 3-5 left for some weird reason, and he just left me until the end, and it was like, oh, so you're gonna do 3-5 right? 3-4 right, sorry. And I think he looked at both our flight plans, and he saw that that guy had a much lower endurance than me, because I had kept much more fuel in my plane. So I think I'm not quite sure if the controller was on that level or not, but what I would think is that he might have, that's why he kept me later, because I believe the Cathay 360, I think he put his fuel just exactly to where he's just gonna land, and that's it. You know, he did not really have much of an endurance. So when he looked at my endurance and he looked at his endurance, because usually SimBrief just puts your endurance like automatically, you know, like if you're going to free file directly from SimBrief. SimBrief will say how much fuel you have and how much endurance you've got. So my endurance was maybe like, it could have, like, he saw, okay, this guy's endurance can actually make him last a whole massive amount of holding, maybe about an hour of holding or something. So he knew that I would have been able to do it, and I would have been more comfortable going in. And I think that's why he also gave me the runway that I wanted, and he told him, no, you said you're going to do the other runway. Why did you say this? You know, he snapped at him a couple of times, like, you know, that guy was causing him a lot of issues, even though I was like messing up the heading sometimes or messing up something. He was not getting snappy with me as much as he was snapping with that guy. So I mean, that guy was super stressed, but by the time it was my turn to, you know, go in for a landing, he was already calmed down and he was nicer, you know. So it was fun, to say the least. Honestly, I was very stressed out. I was very annoyed because I was down to literally to my landing fuel. So the fuel that I had reached was about 700 kilos more than my and the planned final reserve. So the final reserve is like for basically like if you want to land, and I think like it's like that's it, you gotta land, you just have to land when you got that final reserve. So you have committed to it. And like I said in the previous episode, I was like, the weather was fine, just like today. It wasn't like really bad or something. So I knew, and man, the ILS here, it just connects from so far away. I have rarely seen that in Flight Simulator, where you connect and you're on the path. The glide path does not move for many miles. I was like already, you know, slowing down the plane and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so far away from the airport. So I increased the speed to 180 knots rather than 140 knots, and then I just continued there until like a certain point in the map where I was like, okay, now it's gonna, like, the glide slope started to move, and I was like, okay, now I can do it. I have never seen such a relaxed approach, ILS approach, man. This has been the most relaxed ILS approach that I ever had. Like, I was flying over a huge city before I actually reached the airport. I couldn't even see the airport. It was so far away. It was so tiny. I was like, wow, how far am I, you know? And I was looking at the distance that I have. I think it was like still around 20 miles away. I was like, oh my god, you know. it was nice. I like that approach was not stressing me out as much as the holding, because the holding had really stressed me out. But the approach was so lax, I was like, okay, cool. And I got the approach that I planned for, which was good. I didn't have to do any other changes. So he brought me in right to the approach. I told him, hey, if you want to change my runway, like to get me in earlier, that's good. If you don't want to, I'm good with the runway that I had planned for, which was 34 right. So he was like, okay, cool, let's do it. So I landed. We still had like 900 kilos of fuel, which was like, after I landed immediately, the plane was telling me low fuel and stuff like that. But, you know, I'd already landed. That's not an issue. You know, all I had to do is like park and put on the APU, and that's all I needed to do. So yeah, I've never had these issues in Hong Kong. Honestly, Hong Kong's airport, never seen any of these issues. Plus today, right now it's like 11 a.m. my time, and from looking at the map, it's the amount of traffic is very less. So even though, like, again, they have like most of the that part of China where it covers Shanghai, that's all online. I think that's a center right there. Last time, no, yesterday it was an approach. The center had gone offline and it was an approach. Right now it's only a center. So, and I don't see many planes. I do see like around 4 to 5 planes within the under his control. So this is gonna be fine. But for the past, ever since any builds had released this plane, I am seeing these people are being bombarded. Like if a center comes online alone, he would have to handle so many airports, so many planes. There's just a lot of planes, and these guys are just getting stressed out. You know, and it causes stress for us too, because, you know, so many planes, you have to watch out for so many things, and you have to follow the commands very quickly. The guy doesn't have time to slow down his you know, his commands. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, I've blabbered long enough. Yeah, so yeah, this is our plan for today, and so without further ado, start this flight up. Very, very sad. What, after I just set up everything and I was ready to contact radar, unfortunately radar was already closed, so we will be flying without ATC for now. I don't know if there will be any controllers on for Hong Kong, so anyways, let's just start a flight anyways. It's going to be 2 hours, so let's see in the 2 hours time what will change. Anyways, we put the... okay, everything's fine here. Just sheet. Let me just double check the weights here. Okay. Fine. Route reserves. We have the route reserves here. 1.4. 1.4. Enter. It's 219 packs, correct. Of sync 190.5. And that's 434 left we're taking off from. Compute and center FMS. Right, okay. So let me just see one thing. Oh god. Oh yeah, anyways. Let's just reset this position. Because this is open, we can't go back without this. Okay, let's refueling so that this closes. Okay. And then now, okay, choose what reset position again. Then wait for it to start, and then we do the push.
Please parking brakes, please.
Okay. And ground Cathay 363 pushing back from gate 167.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Dang it, traffic. Oh, it is pushing back now. Cool. Danger one.
Please set parking brake.
Set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Engine starting to do.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Yeah. And the way we're good. So flight controls check. Pull up. Down. Left. Right. Neutral. Alright, seems like. Okay, now rudder. Left. Right. traffic, Cathay 363, lining up runway 34 left.
Approaching 3-4 left.
Confirmed.
On runway 3-4 left.
Let's go. Takeoff. Stabilized. Takeoff. Miniflex 69, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Or set. Knots.
V1.
Positive climb. You're up. Thrust. And flaps up. Shanghai traffic, Cathay 363 airborne, passing 3,300 meters now. Correction, 1,320 meters now. I'm not sure what happened exactly, but hey.
1,000.
Approaching 07 left.
Confirmed. Why am I still in
500.
clouds? What's happening?
400.
What's going on? Why is this so bad? Oh my god. And the weather.
300. 100 above.
The weather is so much worse than it was predicted.
200.
Like, until
Minimum.
now, it's not showing that it's supposed to be this bad. It's supposed to be VFR and it's not supposed to be
100.
wet. I don't get this.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Long landing! Long landing!
About it. Okay, spoilers up. Reverse. Green. Nuts.
1,500 meters remaining.
Of traffic, runway 07 left vacated. Clean up. Sit down. Good. And let's boarding. Need to. And let's go to surveillance and stand by. Everything. something really went wrong here. I don't know what it is, honestly, but something really went wrong in this flight. The ILS wouldn't pick up at all, even though everything was set up properly, everything was done properly, but no ILS. I had to go visual, and in the conditions, and the conditions were completely, like, literally it said the Hong Kong conditions were 10 plus statute miles. That means I will be able to see things for days. And even on what do you call it, on Navigraph, it showed that it's VFR conditions. I don't know what the hell happened and how did this get so wrong, but I could not see anything until like so close to the runway. But I was able to, you know, fix it a little bit. But of course, BTV, because first, my problem is that I was not on the seat when actually I was watching something. I was watching an anime while I was flying, and I missed the top of descent for a while. So that's why I had the holding. So I kept the holding until, you know, I descended properly, and then I was able to make it. But this whole ILS problem, I have no idea why that happened. All of a sudden, there's no ILS receiving. Like the ILS, I was not receiving any signals whatsoever. Neither the glide slope nor the localizer. Nothing was picked up. I don't understand what happened. Then I had to land with medium brakes, of course, which kind of made things a little bit hot here. Let's just see the wheels. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, 180 degrees. So in about an hour or so, it should be fine. Hold on, let me just round docks and GPU. Okay, here we go. So that we relieve a little bit of the pressure from the parking brakes, so that it can start cooling down properly. So yeah, I don't know, guys. It seems to be I'm having an interesting time every single time I'm flying this plane. I have no idea why this happened. I have no idea why this ILS thing just didn't work. It should work. I should have been able to capture the ILS. Like, I followed, I don't even know, honestly. I have no idea what caused this issue. It's just like, I would say it's a bug, but if it isn't, somebody let me know if this happens in the real plane, because I don't think it happens in the real plane. Like, no matter what you do in the plane, you should not lose, all of a sudden there's no ILS signals. That just doesn't make sense at all. Like, and I have no idea. I have no idea if it's something to do with Hong Kong or something to do with this, because I don't know. I don't think ILS just goes off all of a sudden on its own, you know? It just doesn't make any sense. No, I think a bug happened in this plane. Like when we loaded it this time, something was erroneous and we had no idea. It didn't show us any issues, so I don't know. We never thought that there was going to be an issue. So. Oh my god, that is weird. And the whole depiction thing. Let me just see the weather, if it's still on GSX. Sorry, on active sky. Yeah, it's active sky weather. So active sky kind of, I don't know, either it messed up or I don't know. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, like, let me just go up here. Get me wrong, like here where we landed, all the way here, it's like it's all clear, but getting, like, see, over there is the problem. Right over there, there's like a wall right before the runway where you just can't see anything until you approach the runway. So if you're not already on the glide, you're messed up. But it's because the reason why I knew where to descend is because I've done this like a billion times. So I know usually where I'm descending on. and how, and I knew that was a little bit low, so I stopped going down. See, when I came out of the clouds, I was exactly on like 3 reds and 1 white, so I was on the glide. The thing is that why was the glide not working, and why was the localizer not working? I don't understand it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So I gotta, I don't know, I gotta figure it out. So I might do like a couple of tests and just make sure that the ILS is working. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, then I don't know, something's wrong with the scenery now again. I don't know, was it a new update? Let's see. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this one. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.